Okay, let's start. What is life? Have you ever played board games? So we call it Chutes and Ladder in the United States. We call it Snake and Ladder where it was invented in India. So Snake and Ladder was invented to teach kids how karma works. Okay. So I want you to get this whole concept of if we were playing a board game and I had a pawn and you had a pawn and we were rolling the dice and we were having great time playing. Now I want you to imagine our physical body is just that pawn. There are multiple levels and layers of our physical body. And this is what people called higher self, higher consciousness, because when we are rolling the dice and moving the pawn, what we are doing is we are playing the game through our higher self. Now, physical body, does it have any control over life? Yes, you can see the whole board. You can do what you want to do on the board, but the desires that come from always comes from the spirit, soul, or higher consciousness. So the dice is being rolled in a way. Now, you can also say what are the probabilities of encountering different experiences, right? So now I want you to imagine you and I have played several games. In some, I have been mean, in some, you have been mean. And now this is a new game. And however we are playing, if in case we play with integrity and with morals, then karma doesn't affect us that much. The work of karma is just because something has happened before, it just gets carried forwarded into this whole game scenario. I hope you are with me. Just wait till the end, you will start understanding. So, whenever we roll our dice and we play our game, we, as a pawn, it's limited to what is accessible on the board. So, when you have a big problem, you're looking at your life through the perspective of just that pawn and moving or staying stagnant and suffering. Now, higher self cannot do anything if you don't have a desire to move sometimes. Of course, this is when the higher self has to force you into bad experiences, an accident, or somebody else doing something to you, or you are like, mentally so agitated, you've hit the rock bottom. This board offers a lot of distraction. That is our earth plane, whether it is in the form of addiction, whether it is in the form of sugar, alcohol, it doesn't matter what it is. If you go in different directions, your higher self has to shake you up. That's why we encounter bad experiences sometimes because the pawn needs to move, right? It's forcibly moved in a direction so it can follow the game, how the dice is getting rolled on. Yes, you're with me? I hope you're getting it. So when a person kills themselves, okay, this is the suicide people. I work with a lot of teenagers and I just don't understand why they say they didn't consent for this life. But let's go into that whole thing. When you suicide, you're just killing the pawn. Your higher self is stuck in the game. You have to get another body, come into the same spot, and clear that problem for yourself. Unless you're learning that, you're not going anywhere. Okay, so now I will come to the concept of God. I'll come to the concept of deities and rituals and exacts, so all those things. So did you get my point on suicide? Especially when a person kills themselves, the pawn is killed, not the whole entire person who's playing it. It's like my pawn is damaged, oh damn it, I can't play my game anymore. So for the next game, I have to come into the same situation, the synchronicity of the same player coming in, same location, same everything has to happen for me to learn something more. Yes. So please don't suicide because you're not doing anybody any favor. You are the one who is being foolish and letting go of the body and coming back in a different body to solve more problems because when you kill yourself, the parents are crying, that adds to karma. Get it? The other players, it's like you're in a place where you're playing your role And the imagine you're in a drama or a theater or a play where you are playing your role, but then you say, I'm quitting, I'm sorry. So the director has to find another person in that role, but it can't happen. That is not the game overall. So the people whom you left, they are crying because the role is missing. So you add more bad karma to you, and the game is not going forward. Do you get my point? Because the synchronicity of all these players coming in together is a beautiful art of what we call life on earth. Okay, we have different emotions, and earth is a beautiful plane. That's why they call it as school. We are here to evolve, we are learning, etc., etc., etc. Now, if the pawn is met with an accident, as in if the physical body is met with an accident, what has happened? There is one aspect of it that the higher self is pushing you to a different direction because you might be lost on the board game. One aspect. Second aspect is God is not doing anything here. God didn't make you go through that accident. Okay, you went through it because of some other issues that you didn't face in your previous life. Yeah. Now, apart from that, as you're going with the game, we have been confused with a lot of deities. Okay, this is where you can include all the Indian gods, Greek gods, whomever you worship. Okay, these people existed before in several different games. Okay, and their energy is diluted to us. Now we could be those people too, you never know. That is what the higher consciousness is so humongous. Their energy got diminished, 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 and then we are playing so many games that we have come to a place where we are almost exhausted and we have very little, kind of like, we have reduced in size probably. um, Again, when I was young, I was supposed to pray to Lord Ganesha for my exams to go well. This Lord Ganesha could have been a celebrity in, like, I don't know, so many centuries back in golden age. Of course, his energy is still present here. The vastness of those energies are always around us. But Ganesha is not going to help me play that whole game. He can only probably bless me from his place because we can access that energy anytime. Get it? Like, are you able to understand? But Ganesha didn't do any of those accident crap for my life. Somewhat understanding. I have no clue how this whole thing is going to go online. And, I don't know, don't laugh at me, but enjoy this whole thing, understanding the concept. Um, Next, okay, now where does God come from, right? Now, we are, I think you might have heard this phrase, we are a drop in the ocean. Yeah. So ocean is so vast in its own amazing time that it doesn't matter whether this drop goes to be birds into the bird's mouth to quench its thirst, or whether this drop escapes and evaporates into the sunlight, or this drop is laying on the ocean. You are part of the ocean no matter what. Whether you want to claim the ocean as your power or not, you are drop in the ocean. You have your own amazing time to be partaking in the wave, going and coming back as and when you want. So that is God for you. He is not playing this game for you. You are playing this game. You signed up to play this game. You signed up to go through the karmic scenarios of life. And as a pawn, life is really trivial, If you think about, like, I want this property, I want to wear these clothes. Yes, but we are involving ourselves in such trivial problems instead of experiencing the joy of the game and experiencing the partnership, the players around you, how much fun you can have if you could just focus on, yes, let's play this game and enjoy the company you have. But what we do is we say, okay, that person is wearing red shirt. I don't like red shirt, so I'm not going to like that person. And then we involve with so many fights, and all these things happens on earth plane for a reason. And what makes this whole thing go on and on and on is your not the capability of not understanding that this is just a game. This is just an illusion. So this is where, when the Vedanta people, or the Upanishads tell you that you're playing a game, it's an illusion. You just have to understand that. But we are stuck in life's suffering. That's called samsara, where the Buddhist people come in and talk about samsara as a problem or a suffering thing. But if you make it as a joyous experience, understanding this pawn needs to go through the experiences in life, whether it's paying bill, whether it's taking kids to school, whether being bothered by some sickness. Now, what is sickness? You yourself will say, like, those options that come in those board games, where you say, if you roll a dice for 4, you can get an extra point somewhere. So you yourself would have said, okay, I'm ready to suffer with this suffering or this disease. If I go through it, I get bonus point next life. Are you understanding? So, this is what we are doing. This is what life is. So, please find your purpose, your meaning in life, and go through life in a beautiful way. It's just experiences after experiences. If you can stay neutral, it is pretty meaningless. We just have to focus on how much fun we can have here. And first of all, a lot of people are privileged with everything, but they just let their pawn mind, okay? The pawn has like inner GPS, which it's going through board game, basically, the life, where you know how to shower, where you know how to take care, where you learn how to cultivate working with money, etc. You are the one who are just using your mind power to really make your higher self insignificant. Get it? If you can connect, meditate more, have a disciplined practice, connect your higher self and surrender. And then you see your life becomes such an amazing way, just like board game. There are rules that just take you to one step to other step, and it becomes so beautiful. You now say, oh, I don't like this pawn, I want a different pawn, I want to be in a male body, female body. You're wasting your time. Go through life with what pawn you have and see the miracles of life turn out to be a blessing for you. I hope this is good. This is understandable. Leave me comments, leave me questions if this didn't go well. You can even make fun of me. I give you all permission, because these are the things I get as a download in my meditation, and I just want to put it out there, because a lot of times we suffer thinking God is doing all these things. I always tell my clients, and I explain this as, God is like SC Johnson's and company CEO, like he's working about Ziploc. It's like you stub your toe here and you call him saying, oh, he did this, and you're just blaming him. Whereas as a CEO, he's just enjoying vacation on Bahamas with his family. So, anyways, I hope you understand the depth of this. If you really get the gist of it, trust me, you will have no sufferings, no problem. He said, she said, I don't want to get along well with this person. None of it. And then another concept would be, why do divorces happen? When I hear a lot of this. So the two pawns, when they come on this board game, they decided before too that they will stay together, and I will play your higher self and God and be together, and I will play, the other one will say, I will play the same role. Now you want to get separated. Sometimes it happens karmically, like in my case, completely karmic. So when you're done, you're done. You're like, okay, we finished whatever we needed to handle together and we're done. So now, by choice, when you go away, again, you're adding more excess karma stuff from the other person. If you leave, the other person is in crying, in tears, money scenario, all these things. It's like, again, think about a board game option where you have to deal with another person, and the cards are rolling and the dice is rolling, and you have to get along. So if you're going through any divorce scenario, please get along with the partner, give them whatever they want. And another aspect of this whole board game or life would be money scenario. We are so stuck in money, 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 money. I want money, I want this, I want that. You are wasting your time by just, again, it's a small thing. Money comes, money is provided. Like when you play Monopoly, some people come with certain money and then you start with your whole thing. You have to use the same thing. But some people go get loan from bank, they get more stuff. It's just a game. Stop comparing yourself to that person is rich, I am not rich. Again, you're getting into literally bullshit of life. Sorry, I would have used many words. This is exactly how I talk. So you get to know my whole way of talking. So this could be a vlog actually. I'm vlogging what I channeled probably. So I hope it's understandable. A lot of people say, I want to get wealthy, but are you clearing the blocks around your pond? Because now another concept, I'll just help you with that. I had a client who says, okay, then what are the patterns that I have? Now this pond, that the body, imagine Vinaya's body. Vinaya chose certain parents, certain type of way of living, and certain genetic field, so I could get to be in this body with those things. now, the same Vinaya could have been in Egyptian civilization. Why Egyptian civilization comes up a lot? I love that. So, could have been an Egyptian civilization with a different genetic background. So, when I played that game, I pulled out certain patterns that I took from being in that role. I went into probably next a Mongolian role or something. Then I am here in Vinaya's body. So we have done these kind of different pawns because who wants to do the same pawn? I seriously feel I want to be a Brazilian next life with long legs and amazing skin and stuff like that. So you pick and choose, because when we play board game, it's exactly the same way. You pick and choose the body you want. Now you can come down on the board and then say, oh, I don't like my nose, I want to change it. That doesn't work. Okay, that lands you in more problem with I don't know what else. And another concept is we think like how you're traveling in a car, and when you're a kid, you assume all the trees are following you, all the sun, moon is following you. Um, Similarly, we assume that the life around us is also following us, like Ukraine war or Israel Palestine war, and we involve ourselves in those things. But guess what? The pawn is what is growing from baby to a teenager to an adult and then to an old person. And then you keep changing the pawn, but the game goes on. There is a bigger game here. Please understand that. If you let your life go and get into the, of course, there are certain pawns that are able to work, able to change scenarios on this planet. That's their role. That's what they have taken as a role. Like me sitting here and thinking about any of the world activities, any of the world wars, is not going to help. It's going to ruin my life, reduce my battery here when I can't give my 100% to my kids. Does it make sense to you now? Like world around you is engaged in a different concept altogether. Let that game go on. You please play your game. This is what they said, the be the change that you want to see in the world. Because if one pawn says, you know what, I'm going to follow my rules, I'm going to enjoy my life and do exactly what I want to do, then everybody else synchronizes in, the support comes in, the money also comes in. Because if you run behind money, you're wasting your time again, you're stuck in that place. The minute you say, I want to just enjoy my life today, I'm going to make it amazing, I'm going to see what all I have, because it's the place director's job who is willing to give the pawn everything the pawn needs. Okay, right now I have everything. I have a computer, I have you guys, whether you're listening or not, I'm just blabbering. So so someday, you will listen and probably you will notice this whole thing in a different way. This provided things are always there. It's us. Again, we use our mind in a wrong way and go into these many things. This is a small way of me offering this whole thing. I know the longest video probably to you guys. So the Upanishads, the consciousness stuff, work on Kundalini, your energy will shift. Open your third eye, you will see beyond everything. There is perspective and different dimensions. Yes, they're all there, but just learning this much probably is useful for you. Again, let me know in the comment section, okay? I don't know why nobody leaves comments for me, but you're more than welcome. Leave me a comment. And if you want to know more, deeper stuff, let me know. I will simplify it for you. Okay? Enjoy.